Dreaming of becoming doctor, study MBBS at NMC and WHO recognized universities in Bangladesh, Nepal, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan and Timor-Leste at a fraction of the cost in India. From admissions and visas to education loans, Good Shepherd handles it all. Visit Good Shepherd Shillong today.
Ïing dorbar thawan ke jilla Meghalaya dak we ke sur ke Mynjur ek resolution ban persha ek jing Khlem uranium ha ke jilla hadien ke Jingïatai de khot ke Ïing ke belapin sngo ba ke jing thmu Khlem uranium ke wanra ek jing sngo persha na ke nong chong snong ke jilla hi baro ke we hadien ba menteri rang ba konrad ke sangma ulawan ra ek government resolution la shimben ta ya ka do Dr Mukul sangma MLA na song sak ban nong yalam ke liang persha uba aden mala basayo moy MLA na nongkrem uba Paul Lingdo MLA na West Shillong nang tau uba Renekton Lingdo Tongkhar MLA na Maukerwat Kamiani Di Shira MLA na Ampati uba Olan Singh Sun MLA na Mausinram uba Bright Starwell Marbanyang MLA na Maulai Urakam A Sangma MLA na Siju Rangara uba Edelbert Nongrum MLA na North Shillong, uba Livingstone Kharpran, MLA na Mau Ringkneng, uba Charles Marngar, MLA na Mau Hati, ka Dr. Mehtab Chandi Sangma, MLA na Gambagire, Mizanur Rahman Kazi, MLA na Rajabala, Abu Taher Mondal, MLA na Pulbari, uba Pius Marwen, MLA na Ranikor, uba Meral Bons AM, MLA na Nongpo, Rupa M. Marak, MLA na Darengre, uba Bante Doa Lingdo, MLA na Maukenro.
I want to congratulate the government MDA2 on the leadership of the able Chief Minister Shri Konrad K. Sangma, who have the courage to bring this resolution in this Akos House. And I'm happy to see that the House is united to accept this resolution from the expression that we have heard from the opposition as well. Sir, I must thank the government of India that they have done the survey, even though during the survey itself, when they determined the deposit of uranium, there was lots of agitation, but at least we come to know, as a state of Meghalaya, that we are rich, and we have this uranium deposit in the state of Meghalaya. It does not mean that whatever we have, we should utilize it, but it is proud to the state of Meghalaya that we don't need to utilize whatever we have, but at least we have the opportunity to know that the state of Meghalaya, we have uranium deposit. Sir, I want to express once again my sincere thanks to the government, and I stand here to support 100% to this resolution. And I have also one point as expressed by the Honorable LO, that we need to see that any kind of mining that may take place in those areas where deposit of uranium is there, the government has to take care to see that others mining as well, as stone quarry or sand quarry, we have to see that while doing such kind of activities, maybe by mistake, we may have to mine uranium unknowingly in the name of stone quarry or sand quarry as well.
This has been a long and contentious issue. The local people residing in the areas where the rich uranium deposits have been identified have long resisted the efforts of the government of India to mine the uranium from these areas. If we look at the locals who have resided in these areas, we see that many have encountered different side effects. The dangers of unsafe mining of uranium is visible if we see the plight of the locals. Therefore, it is only right for the government to bring in this resolution at this time, because I think that is what the public, the general public of the state of Meghalaya wants. At the same time, we have to see that over these many years, there have been people with vested interest who have tried to enable the illegal ways and means of mining uranium, which is a very, very dangerous, a dangerous trend, so to say. So therefore, I would like to urge the government to be very vigilant in this matter, because if the government is not vigilant enough, then it will give rise to freelancers or people who, with vested interests, would take advantage of the landowners or people who do not understand, who are less educated or who are in need, or whatever may be the reason. So therefore, this is my humble submission to the government of the day, that the government must remain vigilant. And like the Honorable Elo has said, that awareness to the locals and to give education to the locals is very, very important. As to any kind of activities in these areas may lead to different sort of dangers and which will cause harm to the people living in these areas.
And I'm happy to see that even the leader of opposition has joined the same chorus for the interests of the state and to fall in line with the sentiment of the people. I'm speaking on my behalf, on my personal behalf, and on the people, on the behalf of the people of the states, and on behalf of the people who has raised the sentiments against mining of uranium long time ago. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 10, 15, 20 years back, some of our leaders, legislators, they have been deputed by the government as a team of delegation to visit Jingïatai and some other uranium mining states in India. And I understand very much that the government also has taken keen interest to see that this uranium mining should not happen in our state because of the health hazards, though of course we understand the benefit in terms of technology development, not only for the state but for the nation as a whole. What the most fearful of the uranium is not because of the gamma or beta radiation and so on, but the most fearful is because we are living in the fragile environment. The most fearful thing is the toxic remains of the uranium in the soil, which we call it the soil pollution. The most fearful for the human life or human beings is the fear of the pollution in the soil underwater. Once the soil is polluted, means the water is also polluted. So, because once the uranium is extracted, once the operation of uranium takes place somewhere or anywhere, we should remember that there is automatically this waste drainage, and this drainage or the runoff from this operation area will convey the runoff to the river, to the stream, to the source of water, which will contaminate the water. So once a human being consumes that contaminated water, we must remember uranium is a heavy metal that causes heavy damage to the organs of human being once we consume the contaminated water.
Me personally, and as a party, the Voice of the People Party, we have time and again stated that we are against uranium mining in the state. We know that the impact or the ramification that will have on our people and the state as a whole. And therefore, this day, it will be a memorable day to the people of the state, where as members of this august house, I do believe that each and every one of us will support this resolution. The very fact that we are coming to this moment, I hope so, though we have been airing our concern and we have been fighting against the possible mining of uranium in the state, but this particular OM, which was issued by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, on the 8th of September 2025, it has been a wake-up call for each and every one of us, where through this OM, it whereby exempt mining projects of autonomic minerals notified in Part B of the first schedule to the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957 from public consultation under the Environment Impact Assessment Notification 2006. This creates doubts in the minds of the people of the state and in the minds of each and every one of us with regards to the intention of the government of India, where going by this OM, we can understand the mind of the government of India, where they indeed have a plan to extract this very important mineral, which the nation badly needed for its development. However, we as a community and as a state, we cannot bear the consequences that it might have on our people, and it might even change the demography of our area. And therefore, I stand here wholeheartedly to support this resolution with the understanding that as a community, we have within us the right to reject any attempt on the part of the government of India to extract this mineral.
Uranium is one of the most valued elements on the earth. And uranium is being used at the highest level across the world for the nuclear power plant, nuclear energy, and for the medicine purpose. Madam Jefferson, no scientist, no philosopher, no doctor on the earth till today not able to prepare or produce a device to protect from radiation, which have a health hazard, health effect for human beings. Madam Jefferson, as a human being, we cannot avoid daily exposure to the radiation at different stages of our life. Madam, if we look at our lifespan, our grandparents used to live more than 100 years, 80 years, 90 years. The lifespan of our human beings has been reduced today. This is because of exposure to the radiation every day in our lifestyle. Because the exposure to the radiation always kills cells, tissues, or hormones, and it has a genetic inheritance for each one of us.
I take this opportunity to remind all of us that this is not the end. This is just a beginning. We need to follow up in the near future, where it leads to. The honesty, the sincerity is the need of the hour. At first place, I felt that it's enough for me just to sit still without opening my mouth. That also it's a message that silence is constant. But I don't feel enough. I have to stand together for this very vital issue. This issue it need not to discuss, but it need to pass a resolution. Since this subject is very dangerous, not for us, this present generation, but for the future generation. If no one dares to support this resolution, the only message is this: it's better for us, each and everyone, stop producing children from now onwards, so that this present generation will end up. I'll speak here with responsibility and authority. And we want to send a clear message to the government of India that they should not forget the fact that being a great nation, they should not forget the fact that because of Union States, being Indian alone, being as an Indian nation, it not becomes by own self. It is because of Union State. So therefore, I would like to remind myself and all of us today that it was absolutely duty bound and responsibility to say no to uranium. No matter where it leads, if we have to face any consequences, to prevent and to protect our state, and especially for the future generation. Our state has been enshrined by the Constitution, the 6th schedule, to prevent, to protect, and to safeguard. The Hill peoples from suppression and exploitation from the Plains people. Therefore, I love to remind, the past belongs to the present, but we do not belong to the past. We belong to the present. We are the framers and the makers for the future. But again, we do not belong to the future. Therefore, unitedly and unanimously, we have to stand by the side of the government. Even though I belong to the opposition, there are times that we have to support the government. If we have to stand opposed, but with suggestion. There are times that we have to stand strictly opposed to the government because it was a duty bound as a position. But there are times we have to walk hand in hand for the betterment of today and especially for the future. Therefore, in this regards, with this very vital issue, let's put away all the party line aside so that we can achieve the goal. Because people, through the mandate, they send us to this August house to do righteous as a duty bound, as a representative. Honorable Chairperson, therefore, I rise to support this resolution and it need to adopt unanimously as a responsible August House of State Assembly.
This question of uranium mining in Meghalaya is not new. For decades, it has generated deep concern among our people regarding the land, environment, health, livelihood, and also the rights of our indigenous communities. Madam, this resolution must have an impact because this House will speak collectively and clearly on behalf of the people of state. We know that uranium may be strategically very important. We recognize the importance of national development and interests. But for our people, indigenous people of Meghalaya, land is connected to our identity, our culture, our livelihood, and also especially for our future generations. Madam, once the ecosystem is seriously damaged, no money can restore it. So once we are dealing with uranium mineral, the people naturally have concerns regarding the mining process, the waste management, water source, and the possible long-term consequences for our communities living in those areas. For many years, the people of Meghalaya have expressed opposition to uranium mining. Today, the government and this August House take a united stand, united position. We must respect this democratic voice, which is the voice of the people.
The next gen Tata Tiago.
Madam, one thing that
19,
I feel that the people
that area.
there shouldn't be made to feel
Therefore,
that
these
because
rules are
mining
meant
is
to
opposed,
ensure even single member
so no development
that the people
will be
Hakabang
I will
resolution,
come to that
and I
aspect.
resume my seat.
People there, those areas deserve good roads, deserve good, good health care, education, clean drinking water, even employment and other economic opportunities. Development should never be presented to our people as a choice between accept mining, no development. Then I mean to say accept mining, receive the development, or reject mining, remain underdeveloped. So that shouldn't be the choice before our citizens. Meghalaya is blessed with enormous potential in agriculture, horticulture, fisheries, tourism, renewable energy, entrepreneurship, and other natural resources. I therefore support this resolution and urge this August House to send a united and unambiguous message. The future of Meghalaya must be decided with the people, not without people. So we inherited Meghalaya from those who came before us, that means our forefathers, and we hold it in trust to those who will come after us, or our next generations. So, Madam, on this principle, I wholeheartedly support this resolution brought by our leader of the House against uranium mining in the state of Meghalaya.
We all know that many people in our state have opposed uranium mining for many years. This is not a new issue. It has remained a matter of serious concern for the people of Meghalaya for a very long time. Madam, I would like to make an important point before this august House. If the present government had not taken the initiative to bring and pass this resolution, I do not know how much longer our people would have had to wait for such a clear and firm decision. Therefore, I sincerely appreciate the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, and the entire Cabinet for taking up this very important issue and bringing this resolution before this House. Mr. Chairman, sir, it is easy to speak about an issue, but it requires political will, courage, and leadership to take a decision and put it on record through a resolution of this august House. That is why I believe that this resolution is significant. It gives confidence to our people, and the concerns are being heard at the highest level of the government. Chairman, sir, in this government, I see hope. I have confidence that issues which directly affect the lives, welfare, land, and future of our people will be taken seriously and addressed by the present government. We may have differences of opinion on many matters, but when an issue concerns the larger interests of Meghalaya and the future of our people, we must stand together. Uranium mining is not merely an issue of today. Whatever decision we take will also affect the generation that come after us. Therefore, we have a responsibility to protect the interests of our people, our land, our environment, and our future generations. Once again, Mr. Chairman, sir, I sincerely appreciate the Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Conrad K. Sangma, the Cabinet and the government for the leadership and for bringing this important resolution before this House. With these few words, Mr. Chairman, sir, once again, I, on behalf of the people of the state, I wholeheartedly support the government resolution opposing uranium mining in the state of Meghalaya.
I believe this is a very important and landmark decision, as it gives a very clear and formal expression to the long-standing concerns of our people, as expressed by most of our honorable members here. Today's resolution is not only an end of a process, but it must be the beginning of a clear policy, as so many other members have expressed concern today, to ensure that uranium mining and uranium-related activities do not take place in the state of Meghalaya. Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, this resolution is not against development, but it is a decision about what kind of development we want for our state. development should ensure that we protect our people, our water, our forest, and much more important, our land. Uranium today must be a strategic resource for the nation, but Meghalaya also have its own rights to say no to certain resources and must remain untouched, especially when the perceived risk to our environment, communities, and future generations are too great and much at risk. I therefore wholeheartedly support the government's resolution, and I'm happy that this August House has been unanimous in its decision to take this resolution.
In fact, initially, Mr. Chairman, sir, I was a bit reluctant to say a few words because all the honorable members has already deliberated upon this topic. But then I could not resist the temptation of being a testament to this extraordinary resolution which has been brought about by the Honorable Leader of the House to protect the generations of our state. When we take a resolution resisting the extraction of uranium in our state, it is not that we are against development. Yes, we are pro-development, but not at the cost of our land rights, not at the cost of our environment, not at the cost of the safety of our people. As a doctor, I could say in this August House, Mr. Speaker, sir, that there are hundreds of studies regarding the ill effects of uranium. It not only affects the present generation, but it affects the generations that are yet to come. And I don't think that we have the right to put the future generations, our future generations, in the lives of our future generations in danger. As you all aware of the fact that uranium causes unexpected genetic mutation. Uranium causes reproductive toxicity. And as we all know that Meghalaya is already having almost, it's one of the highest states having the highest number of maternal mortality rate, then neonatal mortality rate, infant mortality rate. So, by allowing this uranium extraction, we are going to add a significant increase in those already increased mortality rates. And the area concerned, the proposed area where the extraction is supposed to be there, the geographical location also has an important, significant role to play. As we all know, it's in the high terrain, it receives very heavy rainfall. So there are risks of landslide risk. So the catchments from these areas, they fall into the streams and rivers on which thousands depends on drinking water, agriculture, fisheries, and their daily livelihood. So considering all these facts, considering the safety of our future generations, I once again wholeheartedly support this resolution brought about by the Honorable Leader of the House.
It is very enhancing to learn about the impacts of uranium mining from the honorable members of the House, including 3 doctors and one master degree holder who talk about the adverse impact. I don't know other members' qualifications, so I am not telling about them. Sir, I will go back little bit into history.
let us go in the month of August, around 81 years ago, when the little boy and fat man were triggered in the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And the impact that lasted there for years, even till today. The acute diseases that has come afterwards, it was intolerable not only for the Japanese government, but regretted by even the United States of America. So time is very short. I'll go to another incident which happened around 6-7 years back. All of us remember the COVID, the Corona time. So our entire street was deserted because there was a virus which was carried by the people, so people were locked down inside the house. This virus was not airborne. This virus was traveling through man or other media. But we are talking about uranium radiation. Sir, this will be airborne. Even we close the door and stay inside the house also, there is no chance of escaping. I'll go back to another incident which happened around 1998 when, due to some disturbance in Shala area, people were forced to go to take shelter in Garo Hills, and there was disturbance in those part of the area also. And ultimately, government was able to amicably settle the matters. Now, when this radiation comes, with this uranium radiation comes other impacts like the radon gas. This is very dangerous, sir. We are a small community, a small state. We don't have mass land to rehabilitate our people who will be taken out of those areas. And that will be disastrous. Not only that, what about the toxic dust which will come and the water contamination? The arsenic, the lead, and other very dangerous particles which will be put in the water, what will be there? And the legacy diseases. When we shut down the uranium mining after extracting all the uranium, the impact will still continue for years to come together. So that's why this impact, as everybody told, is also have impact on environment, its forest, the flora and fauna, even the animal habitat because of the change of the land formation in and around the mining areas. So considering all these things, sir, I thank the Honorable Chief Minister, and I suppose I am the last speaker, so I will not take much time also. I do hope that after this resolution is taken, our Honorable Chief Minister will move to the Government of India, to the office of the Honorable Prime Minister, and convince that being a small population and a small state, Meghalaya should be fully exempted for the uranium mining.
Through this resolution, I would like to make all stakeholders, concerned authorities, and the public aware of my clear and stance of this important issue. I remind my steadfast in my commitments to protecting the interests of the people and safeguarding our land, environment, and future generation. My commitment in this cause is not only in my capacity as the member of Legislative Assembly representing the area, but also stem from my involvement as a member of NGOs, where I have had the opportunity to considering the welfare, rights, and oppression of the people. Therefore, I stand firmly with the people, the government, and the concerned stakeholder in opposing uranium mining. I strongly believe that the concern and various of the local communities must be heard and respected, particularly when decisions of such significance may have long-term implications of our land, environment, and future generations.
One generation passed away and another generation comes, but the earth abides forever. This is the land that has been gifted to us. God has been kind. The air we breathe, the sunlight, the water we drink, the spring, all the resources that we have, it's a God's gift. I'm here to support the resolution, keeping in mind that our forest is our wealth, our river and springs are our life, our land is our inheritance by our forefathers. Our community are the custodian of our natural resources. So concerning all the impact to environment, especially to the health, for the people residing in those areas, as well as adjoining areas, as well as other part of the state. I fully agree with the honorable member from North Shillong, from West Shillong, in which this is a testing time to the state of Meghalaya. I'm placing on record my sincere thanks to the Honorable Chief Minister and the Cabinet. But this is not the end. We have to stand firm. Leaders may go, leaders come. Government comes, government goes. But the resolution remains. Whatever we have decided, resolved today, this will last forever. Keeping in mind from now on, how as a state, as a responsible legislator, we have to position ourselves. Because we understand the intention of every government, be it in any part of the world. Uranium is important, natural resources for the economy, for various issues, for development, for atomic energy, science and technology. But we are concerned about this issue. That's why we have to be very committed. These issues has been there between the year 2005, 2006. We have seen issues with KHDC, the state government, central government, try to explore possibility how to extract. But I must place on record my sincere thanks to the then government also for listening to the voice of the people and to ensure that our generation should be saved. A strong message has to go to the people of the state and the generation to come also. That as a present legislator, present August House, we take full responsibility that we are committed and we are against uranium mining in the state.
This has brought me back to my student union days when we used to protest and oppose this uranium exploration in Balpakram National Park. There had been one proposal for the exploratory drilling in Balpakram National Park during our student union days. And there was one organization which fought against it very strongly Garo Hills Anti-Mining Forum. And I still remember our Rongara Siju MLA, he was also part of that organization. And during those times, we had a collaboration with KSU also in this issue, because in Khasi Hills also there were opposition against this uranium mining. And I still remember when I visited the present NESO chairman, Mr. Samuel Jirwa's residence, he showed me one GSI survey record, which shows that there are uranium deposits in Garo Hills also. In Rongram Asanang area, even in Balpakram and Siju Rongara area. But I'm not sure, it's not a confirmed report, but I saw it. And during those days when we come to Shillong and used to oppose by meeting the authorities, the present Fulbari MLA, he used to help us by arranging our stays in Shillong. So today, I am very fortunate that I am standing here. I'm being part of this house with the one who used to help us in fight against uranium mining.
I think most of us, we have noticed and we have read the paper on the July 14 in the Shillong time. Uranium project under consideration. This is carried in the statement of the Union Minister of State for Atomic Energy that the uranium matter in Meghalaya was still under consideration. So after that, reading the news, immediately I call up Honorable Chief Minister. When I asked him regarding the news on the Shillong time, so I'm very happy to hear from his mouth that the uranium mining in our state will not be happen. So I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister and the Cabinet for bringing this resolution in this August House. But let me say a very important words that we have to do. Because I believe, sir, walk more, talk less. At the same time also, I believe actions speak louder than words. Not only this resolution, but if anything come up from the government of India, I think we have to stand firm among us. I remember last few years back, as a MDC in KHADC, we have visited that site in Damasiat. And I've come across also so many residents in that area. And I've asked them. So everyone, they have opposing if anything come out for the mining. And I remember those days along with the NGOs from our state, KSU, I remember, we have been together on that site. And I remember the leaders of that particular time, at that point of time, they said, we will not allow, if anything happen also, for the uranium mining in our state. And whatever I heard from Honorable member of this August House, the same language has come out. But I want that to reflect in action when the time comes, if anything happens. This is just a submission, Honorable Speaker, and I sincerely thanks and support the government resolution to oppose the uranium mining in our state. Thank you.
Omendri rangba haba Jubab ek Jingïatai ula Shuh ai khublei ge dekhwat baro na dua ke badan ha yang persha ke bla ai ge jingkersha nya ke resolution hadien ke nie ulampang Thomas sangma ula bo ya ke resolution hakmat ke Ïing ha ka ba ke surban Mynjur bala sawa na bro ke dekhwat ke Ïing dorbar.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I think there is a unanimity, and in the interest of obviously the other items that are there, I think we just want to thank all the members, especially the members of the opposition, for coming together. This shows and reflects the sincerity and the commitment we have and the responsibility, a joint responsibility we have towards the people. So this is a very powerful, very strong message, and in a parliamentary democracy, this is maybe one of the strongest stands and positions that we can give. The loudest message that we can give is through a joint resolution, a government resolution that is unanimously supported both by the opposition and the Treasury bench. So therefore, I once again thank all the members who have participated and who have supported this particular resolution. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now, the motion is moved. Now, let me put the question before the House. The question is that the government resolution against the mining of uranium in the state of Meghalaya may be approved. Those who are for the resolution say aye. Aye. Those who are against say no. The ayes have it, the ayes have it. The government resolution is approved and adopted by the House.
Habatin, pej bahagi kishab, kashab plus F.
Ka plus F?
Hakabam bangibam, dunaki eki batay kamet. Namar kata, habatiru atau kau kamlu ka umpnyang kadut, pej ya kashab plus F hakajingsom. Yaki nutrient kumki vitamin bat ka iron la icon diat bat ka batau bha kam kta I ka dur jingki mar bam ka jing mat la ne ka rukom shed yaki balehi banai kita ka don ka we ka jing mentoy ba kongsan ka kot ka kia ka nutrition ba kam bha ka jing im ba kam bha pendon kam daki mar bam modon ka sharp plus F menta ka sngi
Lawan Ra Shafi Lingba ko office jong Commissionerate of Food Safety Meghalaya